What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again, and Arsenal dropped 2 points against 10 men Chelsea. Before I get into it, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the game. Before the game, I'm thinking, okay, cool. Arsenal in good form. They beat Bayern Munich. Very, very fantastic week in terms of beating Spurs and beating Bayern Munich. We go into this game. Chelsea in fantastic form as well, beating Barcelona 3-0 in the Champions League. I thought it was going to be a very difficult game, and a very difficult game it was. Always tight between Maresca and Arteta. You look at the other two games from last season, 1-1, 1-0, and now this game was 1-1 as well. So it's always very tight. And Maresca did his homework in terms of nullifying Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal definitely were not at their best in this game. A couple of poor performances all around. And I think Anthony Taylor set the kind of the tempo of the game with an early yellow card to Zuba-Mendy, and that just came with a flurry of yellow cards, one for Cucurella and then one for Mascara in the first 15 minutes. So yeah, the pressing and the kind of counter pressing. Chelsea played very well, 11 versus 11. A lot of kind of winning second balls, putting Arsenal under pressure. Arsenal couldn't build up. Obviously, the massive news before the game, before I obviously get into the game, Saliba out injured. Very pivotal player in terms of our build-up play and obviously defender as well. Mascara and Nkapie obviously were starting for Arsenal for the first time together in their Arsenal career. And yeah, Chelsea were doing well. They could have actually took the lead. It was a pullback to Esteban that Mascara didn't clear very well, and it went over the bar. Probably should have done a bit better. Last-ditch tackles from Declan Rice and Timber. And yeah, and that's, yeah, could have been 1 or 2 goals for Chelsea in that respect. On the Arsenal side, didn't really create too many opportunities in the first half. Saka had a chance that Sanchez saved with his feet, created by Eze, and then there was a nice little exchange between Eze and Declan Rice, who then squared it to Martinelli, who made another good save for Sanchez. But then the turning point in the game, I feel like Chelsea on the run of play in terms of, I mean, that first half, 11 versus 11, were the better team. They look like more in the ascendancy to score a goal. And it was all changed. Well, I thought it was going to change when Caicedo got a straight red card. Now, again, the VAR actually told Anthony Taylor to go to the screen. It was given as a yellow card, but yeah, it was a nasty challenge. Obviously, slow down, it looks worse, but for me, it was a red card. It was reckless, and again, another kind of day. It could have broken Marino's ankle. Obviously, he tackles over the top of the ankle, and it folds over on the pitch as well. So yeah, very dangerous. I can see why it's a red card, and I think the right decision was made. Going on there, and I'm thinking Arsenal need to kick on now. They need to go on and try and score and try and go on and win the game. Great opportunity, 10 men for 45 plus minutes into the game. And I'm thinking at half time, we kind of need to make some substitutions because we weren't playing well anyway with 11 versus 11. Arteta didn't do that. And we end up going 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Basically, it was a free kick coming in. And I can't think it might be João Pedro that had a header that was going wide. Raya kind of saves it when he didn't really need to, gives away a corner. Corner comes in, great delivery in. And it's a fantastic header by Chalobah. Out jumps Declan Rice into the far corner of the net. From a corner, the set piece Kings actually concede from a set piece. And it was Chelsea who've already scored 8 goals from set pieces. Now it's 9. Ended up taking the lead with 10 men. And at this moment in time, I'm like, what is going on? Arsenal not playing well. They're losing the game against 10 men. It's crazy. Like I said, not guaranteed you should beat 10 men, but you should. Like, you got a man extra for a period of time. You should be able to work it to the point where you make that kind of one-man advantage account. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's crazy. But it was also did show a little bit of characters to come back into the game. 1-0 down away at one of their rivals. Even though it's against 10 men, they came back into the game. Saka with a fantastic cross into Mikel Merino with a great header to make it 1-1. And also couldn't capitalize on them scoring the equalizing goal. It kind of broke up play. Arteta did bring on substitutions, brought on Odegaard, brought on Gyökeres. There's a couple of half chances in there. Marino had a shot that was saved by Sanchez. And then a glorious chance at the end. Timber puts in it was Nkapie puts in a great ball in. If Timber just ducks down and leaves it for Gyökeres, I feel like Gyökeres has got an open goal from a header situation. Timber flicks it on, takes it past Gyökeres' head, and it goes and ends out for a goal kick to make it 1-1 in the final result. And you look at that game and you think, okay, Chelsea should be proud of that performance. I think they were the better team against 11. And then against 10, they held on. They took the lead and ended up getting something from the game with 10 men for the majority of the game. And then Arsenal look at it thinking, a top opportunity missed. I think 2 points dropped personally, based off the context of the game, not because of the opposition. Chelsea is a hard place to go. No guaranteed you're going to go there and win. And we've not beaten them in the last 2 years there. Now it's 3 years. But with the context of the game, being down to 10 men, you can't just feel, as an Arsenal fan, be disappointed that we didn't capitalize on them being down to 10 men. However, the performance didn't warrant it, if I'm being honest. Like, we were probably warranted a draw. I think a draw was actually a fair result in the game based off, obviously, Chelsea going down to 10 men, also dominating the possession based off that. We're not really creating enough to kind of go on and win the game. Chelsea did very well in terms of defending and obviously going forward as well when they could with 10 men too. So, yeah, man, I think the ref did ruin it in terms of not being able to kind of control kind of the physicality throughout the kind of game. I think he did kind of ruin the game in terms of if there was a different red, maybe he lets some things go. So then there's not a constant, obviously, opportunity to kind of send someone off or give someone a yellow card from that perspective. But overall, I think, again, disappointing. But again, you kind of move on now. And that's kind of the one thing I do like about this kind of Premier League schedule is that there's always a game around the corner. And there is another game around the corner. We've got Brentford at home at the Emirates on Wednesday. And yeah, I think we need to obviously bounce back and get a victory in that game. And looking for us, we've got a little bit of a cushion. The fact that obviously Manchester City dropped points last week allowed us to have obviously a 5-point cushion, even though we drew this game. Liverpool are still 9 points behind us, and Chelsea are still 6 points behind us as well. So in all, when you're looking at it from that perspective, it's not bad. But to be honest with you, again, poor performance by Arsenal in terms of an overall. I feel like guys like, even though Mikel Merino scored, I think in terms of the first half, he was poor, giving the ball away. His hold-up play wasn't there. Things were breaking down with him. Zubomendi was off the pace as well. A lot of struggling with the physicality of obviously Chelsea midfield and the intensity as well. I feel like Eze obviously created a few chances in the first half, but didn't really have enough in the second half as well. Martinelli was non-existent in the game, didn't do anything really apart from having that one shot, was not involved. And I think Saka, even though he provided a moment of quality for the cross, I don't think his overall game was good, man. I don't think it was. I don't think anyone in terms of the Arsenal perspective played very well, if I'm being honest. But it is what it is. You take the 1-1 draw. And like I said, we've got a game that we need to focus on. Go with it into Wednesday against Brentford at home. Obviously, good to see players like Odegaard back, Gyökeres back. Obviously, Jesus was on the bench as well. So that's very, very good news in terms of being able to rotate. And hopefully we can get back to winning wins on Wednesday, man. But disappointing result. I was hoping we could go on and get the 3 points. It would have been a massive 3 points as well, based off who we were playing and where we were playing at. But again, it's another kind of game where we've kind of ticked off our rivals away from home, got something from the game, and we kind of move on, man. Only got a few kind of difficult, well, you say big name kind of teams on paper away from home now already in the first 13 games. We've only got Manchester City in April. I think Spurs in maybe February away from home in terms of the top big six away from home. And then we played them all already. So, yeah, that's kind of a positive. And then we've got a lot of them obviously at home. We will have Chelsea at home, Liverpool at home, obviously Manchester United at home as well. So, yeah, we've got a few of them at home too, man. So that's kind of the good thing as well. But, yeah, that's been kind of my thoughts on the game. You guys in the comments, let me know what you think about it. And for more content, please like, share, subscribe, and follow to TJazzo Sports. Peace and love.